Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons from BrandonSimmons.biz. This is my weekly video blog called Bullheaded, a review of the Houston Texans news, as well as a preview of the upcoming game matchups. So, this weekend, week two, Houston Texans had a home opener against the Jacksonville Jaguars, division rivals. So, everything should be lit in NRG Stadium this weekend. So, but before we get into the game this weekend, there's some things I want to talk about from the week one matchup that I do want to get into for week two. So I'm gonna do a quick little recap over week one and just some things I took away from it. So first off, before I really get into anything, after the loss, man, I kind of seen people were like, I don't know. I feel like people were kind of, handing the Texans like a little moral victory thing. And I'm like, nah, you got to hold them accountable for this loss. I'm sorry, man. It was a very close game. And the Texans, like, look, man, this is sort of a young group of players, but they're not that young. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were hanging in there with a team that was competing in the NFC Championship. Just last season, it was just a bad call away from the Super Bowl. So, the Texans, they're a strong team. They're strong. They're a team stronger than what they realize, I think. And it's games like this where they just, kind of let things go at the last minute or whatever, or just fumble things away at the last minute. They can't do that going forward. This is a game they easily could have won. Now, I saw a lot of people debating about, oh boy, he probably should have either touched the yeah, excuse me. A lot of people debating about the Texans being in a prevent defense and all this other stuff. My thing is this: if you have like, I think they had like 9 seconds left, 6 seconds left, or whatever. It was obviously less than 10 seconds on the clock, I believe. But for him to catch the ball at the 40-yard line, you don't really think that a kicker can just come in and just really boot a 58 field goal like that. You probably want to take the chances on that, especially since he missed the field goal right before the half. I think that was like 56 yards or 57 yards. So definitely I can't really fault them for the prevent defense all the way. Just thinking like, he's probably going to want to take a shot down there and, all this other stuff. So it is what it is on that one. But other than that, I mean, what can you say about that whole situation? I mean, the Saints have Drew Brees and we don't. You know what I'm saying? That's what I kind of say about it right now. Deshaun Watson, he's going to be a great quarterback. I think he's a really good quarterback right now. If he's not on the trajectory of being a great one in the immediate future. So it's just that at this point in his career, he's not a Drew Brees, but I'm not. He'll definitely get there for sure. But other than that, just to summarize that that whole game, it was just a strong effort. That fell short. I mean, hell, Watson threw a touchdown to Kenny Stills, who just got on the team like a couple of weeks ago. So he threw the potential game-winning touchdown, if you will. So, I mean, I can't really knock him for his play. I can't knock the whole team for their effort, but they really do have to learn to win those close games. Next thing I want to talk about from that week one game, it was an impressive showing of the running game. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of shocked. I never thought of the New Orleans Saints to be like a defensive team of any sorts. Maybe in the last couple of years they've been trying to step it up defensively, but I mean, listen, I was still impressed. With the performance that Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson put on. I think, Hyde was the leading rusher, ran 10 times for 83 yards. Johnson had, 9 rushes for 57 yards. But also Johnson came in with like he had finished the game with 4 catches for 33 yards. So I thought it was a good mix of having both of those guys in there because on paper, I didn't think either one of them could just kind of like take over and be that feature back, but definitely just putting just utilizing these guys in two different areas. I thought that was very impressive. The way they performed, and it just really kept us in the game, and if not, gave us a huge lead, 21-10 at one point. But um, obviously that wasn't enough, but still, I really do like what I'm seeing out of those two going forward and how they can be utilized. Um, Next thing I want to touch on, which I hate to be a downer about, but well, I mean we have to. The O line, like damn man, 6 sacks, like. Let me look at these stats real quick. Yes, I can't even believe it still. Yo, man, 6 sacks on opening night. I mean, that's bad, really. Like, and especially, it's even worse, considering the fact that the offensive line is something that that's been a focal point, going into the offseason this past year. Getting the offensive line fixed, protecting the quarterback, making sure our quarterback stay healthy. 6 sacks is not a good start for your opening season, for opening the season up. Now, granted, these guys, a lot of these guys are new on this line. Especially Tunsil. He even gave up a sack. It's like, damn, man. But it's crazy. Like a lot of these guys are new. You know what I'm saying? You got rookies on here, all this other stuff. So yeah, they're kind of just figuring things out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it'll be a while. Hopefully they'll get it together this weekend. They just it's just something that let's see if I can pull up the depth chart real quick. And yeah, so yeah, you got Titus Howard at guard, rookie, obviously. Nick Martin's on there. Zach Fulton at the other guard. Central Henderson. Hell, Tonsil's on the blind side. So, hopefully, what's up? Oh, yeah. So, I mean, hopefully they'll get it together within the next couple weeks before we get into the real meat and potatoes of the season. But yeah, man, 6 sacks is just a bad thing. And I would want to come out and say, like, on a few of the plays, maybe Watson held on to the ball a little bit too long. But I mean, at the same time, like on some of those quote unquote plays where he held on too long, the pocket just broke down. So um, it's just got to be a better job of protecting the quarterback this season. That's just straight up. Can't go nowhere if he's not protected. Last thing, coming out of week one, yo, man, pass rush has to be better, including J.J. Watt. I mean, yo, he didn't even show up on the stat sheet. That was crazy to me. Like I was looking through the stats during the game, and I was like, wait a minute, am my eyes tripping? Like JJ Watt's not on here, no half a sack, no partial tackle or nothing like that, no SWAT. Like, come on, man. But I mean, a couple of times I was looking, a couple of times when I would get my eye on Watt during the game, like, they would have, those double teams on him, and you would think like, after all the injuries, well, somebody brought up, he's probably what I'm saying, slowed down because of his injuries and all this stuff. But I would think, like, if he slowed down because of that, like, hell, why are they still double teaming him? So, I mean, Watt still puts that fear in a lot of offensive lines, a lot of offenses. So, of course, nobody's going to be cautious. And the one time that they do leave Watt on a one-on-one, he messes around and sacks your quarterback. So, regardless of that fact, the pass rush has to be better. I saw a stat that said, there was 16 times that the Texans rushed three or fewer, down linemen, and I don't know if I think they were just kind of like overall just three people was just rushing Drew Brees, which is that's pretty crazy. Because I mean I get it, these quarterbacks are veterans, and you send like an extra two or three people after them on a blitz, they can just dump it off real quick to a slanted receiver or in the flats. But I mean, at the same time, you got to put some type of pressure on these guys. We got Whitney Merciless back there. We got, Bernardrick McKinney, all those guys back there, man. So definitely the pass rush has to be better this weekend. And Watt, he has to, he just has to step up and just try to find a way to get to the quarterback or just make a play on the game. They still run the ball on us if they want to. So definitely get that thing going. So with that being said, all the bad things that happened in week one, they can take that, turn it into something good for week two against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, Jacksonville is coming in looking for their first win, just as we are. But they've had, they got tore up last week, big time. So much went wrong with them. So first of all, while many people thought that, Nick Foles, who they signed in the offseason, was going to come in and just pretty much, lift Jacksonville up, somebody had to lift Nick Foles up off the field. Unfortunately, he had broke his clavicle. So he's out indefinitely, actually out for the season. They placed him on IR probably like the next day. So he's done. Their new quarterback that's in right now is Minshew, Gary Minshew, or something like that. Put his name up. Yes, it is Gardner Minshew. Okay, there we go. So, their current quarterback right now is Gardner Minshew, who I virtually know nothing about. Rookie. So I could have just shot up and said he's a rookie. So anyway, so Jacksonville has a rookie quarterback leading them, Gardner Minshew. This should be a piece of cake for the Texans. This is, I mean, he wasn't, too spectacular in the game. But I mean, hey, he's a rookie, so what do you expect him to do? So other than that, Jacksonville, they'll find ways to they'll try to find ways to rally behind this rookie. So it might not be necessarily the rookie that's going to, this rookie quarterback that's going to help them win this game. They're going to find other ways to disrupt the Texans and, try to sneak a win out. So with that being said, three things need to be done for the Texans to win this game. Number one, repeat the running game performance. So as I mentioned earlier, Carlos Hyde had 10 rushes for 83 yards. Duke Johnson had 9 for 57 yards. So let's keep that going again. Let's put another 100 yards on these guys. Now that we see that, Carlos is, a pretty valuable, a pretty stout runner right now. Let's see if we can, get him a little bit more carries or whatever. Let's pound the ball a little bit more and see if we can duplicate or improve upon that running game performance that we had on Monday. Number two, second thing, meet the challenge of Leonard Fournette. So, look, man, Leonard Fournette is physical, bro. Like he does not care. I think I remember a long time ago when he first came in the league, like he was trying to dismiss, playing in the NFL is just something that's like easy. So, that's the type of stuff that he's on right now. So, definitely, be prepared to match, the physicality that he brings when he runs the ball. Not necessarily, most of his runs are going to be going in the inside, so it's definitely best that we clog up those holes, blitz a little bit more, as opposed to just sending, three people against 5-0 linemen. But definitely, whenever we hit those holes that he's going in, match his physicality. Absorb his hits because he's coming. He's definitely coming. So we just have to make sure that that when he comes, that we'll knock on that door, whatever cool catchphrase y'all want. But make sure that you match up his physicality because he will bring it to you once he hits the hole. Third and final thing, get the receivers involved early. So Hopkins, man. he didn't have a great first half. He had like three drops in the first half on Monday. But in second half, he got things going, and he finished the game with like 8 catches, 111 yards. Um, what's my guy's name? Will Fuller. Will Fuller, he did all right, man. He had that one catch for like 54, I believe. Uh, so yeah, he was pretty much. Uh, yeah, man. Will Fuller. Yeah, 54 yards. So, um, yeah, he was definitely on, but still, he finished the game with like just 2 catches. So we definitely need to get him involved more in the game because I like Kenny Stills, but I'm not sure if I'm not sure. If he's really just enough to like kind of draw the coverage away from the other two receivers. So definitely let's get Fuller involved in the game. Definitely let's get Steels involved in the game a little bit more. I only seen him touch the ball like maybe 3 times. I saw him get the Russian play in the first half or the sweep play. They tried to go to it again in the second half, but it didn't work. And then the third time I seen him get a look was when he caught the touchdown pass. So, there's something there, obviously, but definitely let's get him involved early as well. And Hopkins, yes, we must get Hopkins involved. Hopkins has to catch the ball for sure, for sure. So. Um, get to him early if you can, or get to Fuller. Choose whoever you want to go to first, but make sure the first half that we're kind of throwing the ball around a little bit more, just to get the receivers going in rhythm. So those are the 3 things that the Texans got to do to win this game this weekend. They do that. They pull off the first win of the season. Um, get a good win for the crowd. Get the fan base back energized going forward for the rest of the season. So that's all I got for this week. I'm Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz. Holla black.